When it comes to writing about a character looking at their opponent, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Whether you're a new writer just starting out, or a seasoned veteran looking to hone your craft, mastering this skill can take your writing to the next level. In this brief guide, we'll explore some tips and techniques for using a stare down to create engaging, dynamic, and memorable scenes. Establish the stakes. Before your character locks eyes with their opponent, make sure the reader understands what's at stake. Are they fighting for their life? For a loved one? For pride? By establishing the stakes, you'll create tension and invest the reader in the outcome. Use sensory details. When your character looks at their opponent, what do they see? But also, what do they hear, smell, or feel? Using sensory details can help ground the reader in the scene and make it feel more immersive. For example, instead of just writing, "He glared at his opponent," try, "He glared at his opponent, the scent of sweat heavy in the air, the roar of the crowd a distant echo in his ears." Convey emotions. Looking at an opponent is not just about observing their physical appearance. It's also about understanding their emotions and intentions. Use this opportunity to delve into your character's mind and describe what they're feeling. Are they scared, angry, determined, or confident? For instance, he saw the fear in his opponent's eyes and felt a surge of power, his own resolve hardening like steel. Use body language. Body language can speak volumes about a character's state of mind. When your character looks at their opponent, pay attention to their posture, facial expressions, and gestures. For example, she noticed the slight tremble in his hands, the way his eyes flicked nervously around the room. He was scared, she realized, and the knowledge gave her a fierce sense of satisfaction. Create a contrast. If your character and their opponent are vastly different in terms of appearance, personality, or skills, use this contrast to create tension and interest. For example, he was a towering giant of a man, his muscles rippling under his tattoos, while she was petite and slender, her eyes hidden behind thick glasses. But as they stared at each other across the room, he felt a chill run down his spine. She might look harmless, but he knew better than to underestimate her. Reveal character traits. Looking at an opponent can also reveal important aspects of your character's personality. Are they quick to judge based on appearances? Do they underestimate their opponents, or do they take them seriously no matter how insignificant they seem? Use this moment to provide insights into your character's mindset and values. Foreshadow future events. When your character looks at their opponent, they might notice something that hints at what's to come. This could be a weapon, a scar, or even a subtle expression. Foreshadowing can build suspense and make the reader eager to find out what will happen next. Show, don't tell. Instead of telling the reader that your character is looking at their opponent, show them how this action unfolds. Describe the subtle shifts in the character's gaze, the way their eyes narrow or widen, the tension in their body as they prepare for what's to come. Play with perspective. Don't be afraid to experiment with different perspectives when describing your character looking at their opponent. You could describe the scene from the character's point of view, from the opponent's perspective, or even from the viewpoint of a bystander. Each perspective offers unique insights and can add variety to your writing. Use metaphors and similes. Metaphors and similes can help to paint a vivid picture of your character's opponent and the situation at hand. They can also add depth and complexity to your writing. For example, his opponent moved like a panther, all sleek muscle and lethal grace. Create a sense of movement. Even in a seemingly static scene, such as two characters staring each other down, there's always some form of movement. It could be the flicker of an eyelid, the twitch of a muscle, or the shift of a shadow. Describing these subtle movements can make the scene feel more dynamic and engaging. Utilize internal monologue. Internal monologue can provide insights into your character's thoughts and feelings as they look at their opponent. This can help to create a deeper connection between the reader and your character. For example, as he stared into his opponent's cold, hard eyes, he couldn't help but wonder, had it always been like this? Had they always been enemies? Create a sense of history. If your character and their opponent have a shared history, use this moment to hint at their past encounters. This can add depth to the scene and make the stakes feel more personal. For instance, she looked at him, and all she could see was the boy who had broken her heart. The boy who had promised to stand by her side and then abandoned her when she needed him the most. In conclusion, using stare down effectively in your writing can transform a simple scene into a powerful and emotive moment. By establishing the stakes, using sensory details, conveying emotions, utilizing body language, and creating contrast, you can create scenes that resonate with readers.